What's going on, XRP Army? It is Joe. Welcome to the channel today. We have some exciting news to go over in regard to XRP today, so I'm going to touch base on all three of those things that came up and kind of go over what I think that means and what to look forward to next. So stay tuned throughout the video to hear my thoughts on all of those news items. I am getting excited though. I think our time is coming. I think we are getting closer to seeing some great news that finally pushes us back to those all-time highs that we were at, and even maybe surpassing those in the near-time future. The stars are aligning, the signs are there, and I think we are getting close to that point. The sentiment is growing. I'm just feeling very confident right now. So we're going to go over some of those things today. I know I've touched on a lot of those in other videos, but it just seems like there's good news after good news coming for XRP. And when there's, I just feel like there's a sign that there are good times coming. So with that, before we dive into things, if you guys could, please hit that subscribe button if you like the content. That greatly helps out the channel, and I would appreciate your support a lot. If you like the content, hit that like button as well. Comment below. I'll interact with you guys. And that being said, let's dive right in. So we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of down a little bit today. A lot of crypto is down. It's right. Nothing's really moving a ton, but you did have XRP and Binance each up around 5% for a while, and now they're up 1.5% and almost 3%. So still doing better than the other coins today. As the other ones in the top 10, you can see Doge down 2, Cardano down 3.5. Solana's barely up, and then Ethereum's down a little bit, so things are staying pretty steady, but you do see Binance and XRP up a bit, and the reason is, I'm going to go over that in a second to start off, why XRP and Binance are seeing that slight increase in price. They were up, like I said, 5 to 6% earlier in the day, and that has a lot to do with this for XRP. XRP USD is now live on Binance. Explore 50 plus USD trading pairs and counting on Binance. So this is big news for XRP to be listed on Binance again. It was listed, and then when the case came up, it got unlisted. So for Binance to have that confidence in XRP is big, and I'm going to touch on that more in a second. And then why Binance is, I think, saw that quick 5 to 6% increase, and now it's around 3%. Because of this news, in my opinion. President Trump's family is in talks to acquire a stake in Binance US, Wall Street Journal reports. So that's big news for Binance to have. If President Trump's family is in talks to acquire a stake in Binance, that's good news for them. So I think that's the reason we saw that price increase, and we are seeing that positive reaction to Binance today. So that combined with the XRP news, I see that being positives for both. And then, so I wanted to ask Rock, hey, what's the impact of Binance relisting XRP, so I could bring you guys that information and have it written for you guys to read and follow along. And so number one is increased liquidity. Binance's vast user base and high trading volume can significantly boost XRP's liquidity. When XRP is relisted, it becomes more accessible to traders and investors globally, facilitating easier buying, selling, and trading. This increased liquidity can reduce price volatility and make XRP more attractive to institutional and retail investors alike. So that's a big reason why I'm so bullish about this news, is that increased liquidity typically helps prices, and with that being Binance being one of the major players in the industry, them relisting XRP gives that confidence, and that's going to be a point here coming up. But that confidence that they have in XRP shows with them doing this, and that increased liquidity is going to pay dividends. Then you have price momentum. Historically, relisting announcements on major exchanges like Binance have led to price surges for cryptocurrencies due to renewed investor interest and market speculation. For XRP, which has faced challenges due to its legal battles with the US SEC, a Binance relisting could signal a positive shift, potentially driving its price upward as traders re-enter the market. So they touch on that in a later point coming up here as well, but them relisting XRP shows that they have confidence that something is changing, something is coming for XRP. I do not believe they would have relisted XRP if they did not believe the SEC case was coming to an end, as they take it very seriously, and I feel like they want to get ahead of the game with XRP. They want it to be on their platform for when that case ends. So that's big news there. And then number three, market sentiment and confidence. Binance's decision to relist XRP would likely be interpreted as a vote of confidence in Ripple Labs and the token's legal standing, given that Binance previously suspended XRP trading in certain regions. Due to the SEC lawsuit, a reversal could suggest that regulatory uncertainty is diminishing, boosting broader market sentiment toward XRP. I just touched on that as well. And if the case ends, there's going to be such bullish behavior for XRP, in my opinion, that Binance wanted to get out in front of it. They wanted that on their platform. They didn't want to wait until after the SEC case was announced to be done to do it. They wanted to be ahead of it so they could get that action on their site. And I feel like them doing so now shows that they have that confidence that that is going to happen. So big news for XRP, wider adoption. XRP's design as a bridge currency for cross-border payments relies on its availability and acceptance. Relisting on Binance could enhance its visibility and utility, encouraging more financial institutions and payment providers to integrate XRP into their systems, especially if paired with multiple currencies on the platform. So this is just saying XRP is going to be in front of more people with it being relisted on Binance. So all of these things together show that the significance of XRP being relisted on Binance, and I feel like it's very bullish overall and just one step closer to great things happening for XRP. So stay tuned for more. I believe this is just another check on the checklist of things that need to happen before we get that price surge that we're all waiting for, and I believe that is coming soon, as marked by the vote of confidence by Binance in this announcement. Another good piece of news, just in, $1.5 trillion Franklin Templeton files for spot XRP ETF with CBOE. So 2 days ago we saw them file an XRP ETF. Now 2 days later we see them file the spot XRP ETF with CBOE. So another great piece of news for XRP there, and just another ETF filed. Franklin Templeton just filed for a spot XRP ETF with CBOE. That's $1.5 trillion asset manager knocking on crypto's door. Regulatory green light equals game changer for XRP. Are we about to see a massive supply shock? I think that's coming. I think we are just seeing ETF after ETF after ETF. Franklin Templeton's one of the big ones. So to see them do one a couple days ago and then a spot ETF today, that's another big vote of confidence for XRP. Something is coming for them. These people know what's going on and they are getting ready. So just wanted to bring you guys that news. And then finally, the big piece of news from today. Ripple has secured regulatory approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority, making us the first blockchain payments provider licensed in the DIFC. This milestone unlocks fully regulated cross-border crypto payments in the UAE, bringing faster, cheaper, and more transparent transactions to a $40 billion market. So this is from Ripple themselves announcing this, that they are approved from the Dubai Financial Services Authority to be a blockchain payment provider licensed in the DIFC. That is massive news that cannot be overlooked. And then I asked Grok to break that down to kind of explain that to you, why that's important. And here's what they had to say. Ripple's approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority to operate as a licensed blockchain payments provider in the Dubai International Financial Center allows XRP to be used for regulatory crypto payments and services in the UAE, targeting the region's $40 billion cross-border payment market. This milestone strengthens Ripple's positions in the Middle East, where it already has about 20% of its global customer base, enhancing XRP's adoption by financial institutions seeking efficient alternatives to traditional banking systems. So they're getting into Dubai, and they got that clarity. This is a big step forward, and I feel like the U.S. seeing some of these announcements being made gives them the vote of confidence in Ripple, in XRP, to be used in the ways that Ripple and XRP envision. And Dubai took that first step forward, and they're taking that chance, and this is huge for the company. The DFSA license finalized in March 2025 after an in-principle approval in October 24, positions XRP as a key player in Dubai's push to become a global hub for crypto innovation. We heard President Trump talk about how he wanted America to be the crypto hub, but now we have Dubai making a push. We have Dubai getting ahead of the game and trying to get their foot in the door. And so are we going to see the U.S. respond in a way that's like, hey, no, U.S. is going to be the crypto center of the world. We're going to show you guys, then we're going to expand on that. We're going to do it bigger and better than you, and we're going to use XRP and Ripple in this way. Are we going to see them respond in a way? to Dubai's announcement. So I think the U.S. wanted to see another country have that vote of confidence first, and I feel like this is a step forward. Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin launched in December 2024, and now exceeding 135 million in market capitalization, could see increased adoption in the UAE alongside XRP, further integrating XRP into the region's financial ecosystem. So adding RLUSD and XRP into the region's financial ecosystem would be massive. If we can get that over there with those cross-border payments, with using it in the banking system, and everything that comes along with that is going to be very big for XRP and Ripple and RLUSD. And so just all these signs keep coming up for XRP and Ripple, where I just feel like there are good things coming. And this is not just a little sign. This is a big sign that I think needs a lot of attention. And I feel like it's something not to ignore. XRP's recognition by the DFSA in 2023 as one of the approved crypto tokens alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum underscores its credibility for institutional use, potentially driving more partnerships and use cases in the region. This development follows broader regulatory momentum for Ripple, including approvals from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, New York Department of Financial Services, and Central Bank of Ireland, signaling growing global acceptance of XRP for compliant financial services. And so you see here, this is just big news for XRP, and you see these countries adopting XRP, Ripple, RLUSD in major ways. And so one of the things that a lot of Bitcoin people say, if you're on X a lot or if you're on Bitcoin YouTube, you'll see a lot of people saying like, oh, Ripple, XRP, we can't wait for it to go to zero, it's irrelevant, no one really cares about it, Bitcoin's the only coin that's going to make it. And that's just simply not true, you guys. There are tons of countries, there are banks, there are other companies, institutions that are adopting XRP. They are looking into XRP heavily. You heard President Trump mention XRP in a post on Truth Social. Like, people are paying attention to X. Brad Garlinghouse is getting the name out there. He is standing in front of so many different people, making connections, that there's just so much smoke that this is going to happen in my mind. And the people that are telling you otherwise, the people that are telling you it's going to be Bitcoin and all the other coins are going to zero, especially XRP in their mind, that is just simply not true. You are seeing XRP, you are seeing Ripple, you are seeing RLUSD making moves, you're seeing that headlines all over the place, and I just feel like it's only a matter of time before this SEC case ends. We saw that news the other day where there's a report that the SEC case is nearing an end, and it's mainly coming down to Ripple holding it up because they want to be relieved of all wrongdoing. The previous settlement had them admitting to some wrongdoing, but then they would be free after that. But Ripple's like, hey, no, we do not want to admit to any wrongdoing. We want that redone. We don't want this case settled until that is cleared up. And so I think that's in the process right now, and they're trying to decide if XRP is a commodity. And I believe that news is coming sooner rather than later, so stay tuned. Do not miss out. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, comment below. I'll be sure to always bring you guys the latest XRP news, and I also bring you guys the latest crypto news when I have it. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment below, and I will talk to you guys on the next one.